Stacy.
Hello, my friend. How are you?
I am good. I am here. We are episode 53 coming live, or well, we're live, but we're not live now. We were live.
Right.
We were live the other day. Recording this episode 53, Stacy.
Yay. Love it.
This is incredible. Now, Stacy, I want to start off by talking about your chair. That's the first thing I want to talk about. We have a lot to get to. We have a lot of videos this week. We have a lot to talk about. So, but the first thing is your chair. I wasn't sure what I was hearing a few moments ago. Why don't you show our audience exactly what we're dealing with?
So when I move, so Michael and I were talking. I'm like, I swear to you, I'm not passing gas.
She had the 3-bean salad last night.
But yeah, so it's leather pleather, and so it's like it just makes that sound, and I'm like, oh my god, what if this is picked up in recording? So people, if you ever hear that, it's my chair. I swear to God.
I have the same issue in the tour van.
Oh,
all right. So when I go to a particular location, we stay in the car, and then I put it in park, and I tell a story, and I will turn around to look at the people in the back and all of that. And when I do that to shift my weight, where your left foot is usually resting off to the side, and there's a little leather plastic pad for your feet to rest on there.
I see. Yes.
And there is a creak. But it's more like a flatulent sound. So every time I put my foot on it to turn around and I'm lifting up like a one-cheek sneak, it sounds like I just did one out of the lower belfry. And the thing is, I don't. And so what I do, because now I'm thinking the whole van just heard what sounds like an accident. And so I go, oh boy, I got to get this fixed on my car. I got the squeak. You guys hear that squeak? And I point it right out. I go right for it. So, people aren't ready to go, ew. So these are just the little things they don't tell you in tour guide class. You got to figure out while you're at it.
Right. Podcasting world. No squeaky chairs.
Now, for those of you who don't know, Stacy and I, we went to Podcasting Academy in Nebraska, and we were there for the better part of 3 months. We were away from the people that we love and care about. Yeah. And the training is so intense. But one of the things they don't go over is what happens with a squeaky chair. And you would think that would be like half a day's class or something.
I know. They just leave you to wing it. It's just horrible. Horrible curriculum.
We cannot be the only ones there that have this chair issue.
Right.
I think we've beaten this chair to death now. All right. All right. Stacy, you had a kind of a busy week. What's going on in your world?
I did. I know I'm posting like an obnoxious mom, and everyone has to forgive me, but I'm so proud of this girl. So my Sarah, she turned 21, which is just like, when did that happen? And how did I get old enough to have a 21-year-old? But yeah, so I posted a timeline of her from baby to 21. And she was like, you could have left out the pictures with the braces.
Oh, she didn't appreciate that.
Oh no, she was totally fine, and she was like, "Oh, the braces, Ma." I'm like, "Oh, come on, lots of kids have braces." But anyway, kids are harder on themselves than their parents are. But I just wanted to give her a shout out. She's such a good kid. She's an easy kid. She's like a naturally cautious child, so she really hasn't been tough as far as parenting is concerned. I've been very, very blessed. So
really,
very blessed, very easy kid. So I've been very lucky. So I just wanted to say happy birthday to her again. It was her birthday actually the 17th, and so we got a bunch of pictures and we were goofy.
Oh, but that's what people do. Whenever people have a platform, this is what they do.
Yeah,
I don't think there's no apologies necessary, because that's what we all do. We all post the things that we do and love and care about. So kudos to you, my friend.
Yeah. And you.
Oh well, I had a hell of a weekend, boy. I tell you what.
Yeah.
I had invited. It's something I rarely do. I don't really have many friends in this world, and the ones that I do have, it's basically family. So they come down whether I want them here or not. But I want Philly here. Anyways, no, just kidding. I'm kidding. I love everybody. So, anyways, I had invited my friend John Rivoli and Robert Bruzio, who both have been on the show and are both established in their own right. John, obviously, with the art, and his art is second to none, as we're going to talk about in a moment again. And of course, Robert had written a movie called Bottom of the Ninth with Joe Manganiello and Sofia Vergara, and he worked with a bunch of people that put the original Rocky together. And so he is quite established, and he's also just a massive Rocky fan and a hell of a great guy. So they both are. So anyways, they came down Friday afternoon, and man, did we have a heck of a time. I sent you some videos. I don't even, Sue has a lot of other videos on her phone that she took. Yeah. And so we're going to touch on some of this, and then because she's gone out of town right now, she's visiting family. So when she gets back, I'm going to download them, and then we'll talk about it again in the future. But anyways, I have this first video. We titled it Loss of the Most Important Person. Why don't you hit that one for us?
Okay.
When you don't have your partner with you anymore, that's a weird moment. That's going to be a pretty profound moment.
When I watch the movie, the part that hits me the most of him being alone, aside from, of course, going to the cemetery and putting the chair down, when he wakes up in the morning and he's alone, and he's feeding
the animals outside,
and the candy, whatever he's getting.
Yeah.
But when he gets out of bed and he's alone, getting out of bed alone, I mean,
it's a tough moment. Exactly.
It's a tough moment.
That's why Mike,
and then he feeds the turtles that have been with him forever.
That's what I'm struck. When Mike is always like, "Listen, I'm asking you to do this." I'm diving deep, and my brain is in a different space here because I'm trying to really get into that moment of being without your partner, which is a tough place to be. You know, Adrian was really his soulmate. That was his soulmate, without a doubt.
You got a moment when he's at the ice arena, and the lights from the van are behind him.
Yeah, no, I know.
He's alone.
Yeah,
but for me personally, being alone in a bed, where your partner was with you, for whatever.
Well, that's the whole theme of Rocky Balboa is being alone.
Just that one shot alone.
What do you do in that?
See, so we ran the gamut of emotions on our get together here. We really delved into quite a lot of detail on a bunch of things, and what John was referring to, I have this image in my mind. I can't paint it because even though I had like juvenile skill level with painting, I don't know. I don't have that dynamic expression that John does. And I've been after him to paint this picture of Rocky with the burgundy jacket on in the restaurant. Okay. Yeah. And we're standing in front of one of John's newer prints, No Pain, where Rocky is, does the eggs, and he stretches out and he runs down the street to begin his training. And the light shining down is almost like a light from above that is calling him. Now this is your start. It's not going to be easy, but you know, God is calling you to something bigger. All right. So and I started taking the camera, and at first they didn't know I was videoing them. They realized we were, what's the old saying? 3 sheets to the wind. We were up until 2:30, 2:45 in the morning, video taping and like watching Rocky on the down here and talking. We went through several bottles of bourbon and wine. We did.
Fun.
Yeah. Oh my God. They brought Stella Artois. Yeah, I ain't saying that word right. No way, no how. So they brought that, and they brought a bottle of bourbon plus what we had. So we kicked all of that. It was really, really fun. But anyways, this next video comes a little bit later. maybe about 10-15 minutes later, John and Robert, I thought I'd video this because it was very, very important. Would you hit that second one? It's called The Future Painting of Rocky Alone in Adrian's.
There's no doubt. I've been toying with that idea and Mike's idea of Rocky and Balboa in the restaurant. In the restaurant. You know when he's in the restaurant in that jacket behind you?
Yeah.
And he's talking to people and everything else. Mike has been asking me to explore that painting for a long time. And I have been. And I've been sketching it forever. Forever. I've just been trying to dive deeper. As you know, I'm going deeper and deeper and deeper. I'm going to do it. And I've been messing with it and playing around with it. But also that restaurant scene is also important to me because this is a Rocky without Adrian. Adrian has been like his
But why that moment?
Not necessarily that moment. That's what I've been struggling with. I get it in the restaurant, and I know it's famous with him, with all people, and he's telling stories. I don't think that's as interesting as what's going on with Rocky when nobody's there. What is going through this man's mind?
I think so.
No longer has Adrian. He's got this restaurant. What is he like when the place empties out at 11 o'clock at night and he's by himself?
I think
that's my moment that I'm searching for.
So there's a few things going on in that scene.
Yeah.
Okay. One, you hear an enormous loud ticking. The ticking is the black Ben Franklin clock that Rocky uses to get up to when he sets the alarm for 4:08 to get up to drink the eggs and all that.
Yes.
We were doing skits in other videos for other things. And John wanted to use that clock for. So once you know, when you wind up those little clocks, it took 3 days. And I put a mattress out here for Robert to sleep on, and the clock was ticking so I had to put it up in the garage. And when I got up in the morning at 8 o'clock in the morning, whatever time I got up, I was walking around, I could hear it still ticking from the garage with 2 doors closed. Yeah.
That would make me crazy.
then you heard the pounding of the feet coming down the steps.
Yes.
That was Sue coming down with a refill for all of our glasses, right? And you hear me whispering, "Oh, thank God. Oh God, I needed this. Thank you." But she didn't realize I was recording.
Right.
She would have, because she was coming down the steps quickly, but then, she would have walked much softer. So that's what was going on. But the thing in that scene is John talking about being alone in the restaurant after everyone's gone. So everyone's there. Rocky's telling stories, the wait staff, the patrons, the cooks, Spider Rico, everyone's around. But when they go, Rocky's got to hit the lights and lock up. So imagine that image of Rocky with the burgundy blazer on in the restaurant as everyone is gone. It's just him. Maybe that giant painting. There's that big painting of Adrian that hangs when you first walk in. It's right above everything, right above the bar right there. Imagine maybe he's got one hand on his hip and looking down or looking up at her, or he's looking in the distance, and the Leroy Neiman is on the wall, and we get a part of that in the distance with all the empty tables. And what is that? That's basically Rocky is alone. He's alone with a section of his brain. So part of it, he's got the trophies in the back room and from the fights and everything in the painting, but the rest of it, it's empty, because without his son, who he's estranged from, and without Adrian, he is just empty. And so I cannot wait for John. What do you think about that concept?
I could relate to it because, when you're in a crowd and then the door closes and you're alone, that next expression, you're like, you know what I mean? That next expression, what the mask that you wipe off when you're finally alone, that's where you really are. So you're either sad, or maybe you're still happy, or you are angry, or you want to cry. And I think John is after the purest essence of where he is. Yeah. And you can't get that until he's alone. You know what I mean? So as he was talking about that, I'm like, that's the most intimate moment.
Right.
And he wants to paint that. So
Yeah, I've been after John to paint this at least 3 years, maybe 4 years.
Yes.
I've really been after him to paint this because this is something that is incredibly personal to me.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the Victor Cafe and my time on set there, seeing Sly in the burgundy jacket as Rocky acting as I'm, hiding behind the camera watching all this take place. I mean, I didn't know what was going to happen to me, but I can get very emotional even right now if I think about that. That restaurant, it's if heaven is real, I hope my heaven is the Victor Cafe.
Yes.
I hope that's where I get to hang out. Okay,
Yes.
that's what I hope. So anyway,
I think we can call that order in for you.
Yeah, well, man, I'll have to start saying some do some due diligence on that. We'll see what happens. All right, let's see. So we got those two. Then we had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You're not going to realize just how repugnantly drunk we are here, but here we let our actions just speak for themselves. This is what it was only about a minute long, minute and 9 seconds. I affectionately call this Rocky Fashion Show with some of my props at the house. Stacy, would you play that?
All right.
Okay, so there's nothing like a fashion show here. It's Fashion Week in the Rocky Room. Okay, so we've all chosen things that appeal to us for a variety of reasons. I chose to be a thinker, not a stinker. Robert, what's your plan of attack here?
I kind of like this robe better than last year's robe, don't you think? Last year's kind of baggy.
It was a little baggy.
Yeah, this one's cute. Very cute.
Fits you good too. Now, are you able to, use utensils with those gloves?
Yeah, I do. Just
skill set.
A fork.
I like how he boxes in jeans. That's something that I think should be noted,
You don't find jeans restrictive?
It hides my chicken legs.
Oh, nice. See, that's a good point. Mr. Rivoli, what is it about this outfit you're wearing? Why this one?
Well, for me, it was all about class. Nothing says class like this outfit.
That's classy,
right?
Yeah, this is classy, right?
That's class.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
You cannot go wrong. So anytime you guys want to come down here, we'll charge a very small fee to dress in the clothes, and it'll go all out on social media. Have fun.
Yeah, nobody's coming here.
Nobody.
Goodbye.
Awesome.
It got worse after that. We were then going from outfit to outfit to outfit. Robert came out in the Rocky IV jacket, the sheepskin,
nice,
the fedora, the newsboy cap that Rocky wears, and he was doing all types of lines. Then he put the Rocky leather jacket on because his Stallone's jacket that he bought. I believe he bought it at a Corvettes. That's the name of the store. It was shortened from Korean Vets to Corvettes, and it was like a department store up and down the East Coast, and that's where Sly, I believe it was New York City, where he bought his Bond Fifth Avenue leather jacket, and I have a Bond Fifth Avenue leather jacket on my mannequin display in the corner. And it's got the odd upper chest pleat that comes down. It's got the triple stitching on the pocket and the collar and so on. So like if Stallone bought this one on the shelf, this would have been the one right behind it on the rack. Yeah. So Robert puts, and I also have the Thunderbird sweater that he wears when Mickey comes. My place stinks, the old place stinks. So he puts the Thunderbird sweater on. He puts the original Bond's Fifth Avenue jacket on. And then he puts one of my Rocky fedoras on that I have over here on a hook. He puts it on and he's going through the motions. And I started recording him and he went into a Bronx Tale. I go, Bronx Tale?
What are you doing?
You're not Lilo Brancata. I said, you're Rocky Balboa. And then we had just cut the video there. I got to find that one. I don't know. I have that one somewhere. But you have to be very careful who you let into your house. Now, what did you think about that ridiculous fashion show?
I love it. This to me is about the timelessness of what moves us. I don't care if you guys are 7 doing this or 70. You know what I mean? The stuff that moves us our whole lives. And, sometimes you have parents saying, oh, you need to grow up or you need to, and they make it a matter of maturity. Or I'm like, no, No, Rocky moved us. We want to be in the clothes. We want to look the look and walk the walk. And I love it. I thought I loved it. I thought it was great.
This is one of the things I want to give a shout out to my parents. This is one of the things that I really have to give them severe kudos for. They really never were concerned about me growing up until I was about 38. That was they never said to me at 14,
right,
at 22. They never said about growing up. They always were supportive in whatever I chose, whatever fictitious dress, because anyone who knows me knows every time Stallone had a Rocky movie out, any movie, I would alter my hair, alter my dress, whatever it was. And they never gave me crap about it. Maybe because I was always working. I always had multiple jobs. Maybe that was maybe there was that side of it. So they saw me fighting the two, maturity and immaturity, which one was going to win out in the end. And in the end, I think it was a good blend. Anyways, that's just a shout out to mom and dad on that. I thought that was kind of
well. I think this is, you and I have said this about your parents all along. As I learned about them and how they were with you, I'm like, they never used those words.
Nope,
maturity, and a lot of parents do, and then that sort of squashes the dream. And I don't know. I want to encourage parents not to do that, because there's a passion there and something moves them. There's always something you can do with that. I don't care what age you are.
But that's got to be a difficult line for parents to walk, because at that time, my father really thought I was nuts. Like in candid conversations, he was very worried that I was going to just, I don't know, fall into some bizarre, crazy scenario where I wasn't going to be successful in any way, shape, or form. So I always wonder to this day, how did they have the confidence to say, no, let's not use that phrasing. Let's not use that word.
Yeah.
Because I think most parents would have slapped me into reality sooner. And I think it would have drastically affected where I am today. So, which is in my basement doing a podcast. So.
It's the tours. The tours is your that is amazing. It's just awesome.
It's not a bad gig. All right. So then I had Mr. Rivoli. While I had him here, there were a few of his prints I have that I asked if he wouldn't mind signing for me. So I have some video of a bunch of them, but I thought this one kind of sums it all up. This is John signing the Rocky IV director's cut poster he had created that is brilliant. Stacy, could you play this one?
Do it in person.
You are here, my friend.
Right? Okay.
Look at that. It's like the Declaration of Independence.
Oh, John Hancock.
See that? Look at that.
Yep. Now it's final.
See, that's official.
There it is.
All right. Now what do we have? 30 more to go?
Yep. Something like that. You gonna get lunch?
Cut.
Nice.
So we had set up this table, and I was taking all the frames off the walls, and I was taking the little metal tabs. You have to unhook them, and then you carefully take the poster out, sign it, put it back. And so it was a lot of fun. And it's, for me, these are paintings that inspire me. I don't have a lot of real estate here I have a lot, but it's filled up with quite a lot.
Right.
So whatever goes on this wall has very profound meaning for me. I don't put anything on this wall willy-nilly, as my great-great-great-grandmother would say. I never met her. I don't know who she is. But anyways, earlier this morning, I'm cleaning up my Rocky closet. So I have a guest bedroom down here, and then I have a big closet. And this is where I keep all my Rocky uniforms, my dress work. I keep all a lot of stuff that's not out here. I keep back there. I keep a lot of Rocky paperwork, books, magazines, about 100 magazines I've got back there, a whole bunch of stuff. So I got to clean that out. It's getting a little atrocious. And I came across an old VHS cassette labeled Mike's Weather Channel commercial. Stacy, would you play this? And I'll explain after you all watch it.
All right.
Expect fair skies.
We love when pop culture meets weather here on Abrams and Bettis. Rocky VI opens nationwide tonight, and our guest meteorologist, David Aldrich, recreates the footsteps of a fictitious Philly boxer who won over the hearts of the country.
Adrian! One famous scene that inspired millions 30 years ago is doing it again, but there is a weather twist.
Hello, I'm meteorologist David Aldrich with Fox 29 in Philadelphia. You know, when you go to the movies, you almost expect to see special effects. But in the new Rocky Balboa movie in theaters nationwide, the actual run up the Art Museum steps actually included real snow. Take a look. It was Saturday, February 11th. We picked up 1.5 inches while they were still filming Rocky Balboa and his famous climb up the Art Museum steps. But another 10.5 inches fell after the filming was over. That came on Sunday, February 12th. Some areas picking up to 18 inches with blowing and drifting. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yes.
David, no. That's not right. You ain't gonna win Weatherman of the Year award like that. Now listen, a few things, okay? I got some friends here with me, and they're gonna show you the right way how to win it.
Okay.
First of all, you need a white Christmas.
A white Christmas.
Second of all, you can't scare the pigeons like that, okay?
Okay.
All right? And the next thing, we got a jab. Guys, just a couple of jabs. Jab it. Jab it out there, right?
Okay.
Well, okay, that ain't too good. How about an uppercut? Uppercut. That's an uppercut. That's it. Well, okay, listen, we're all going to work on that back at the gym in a little bit. Listen, what do you say you, me, and a couple of our closest friends head into the museum? What do you say?
Sounds good.
Is it a deal?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's kind of move over this way. All right, guys.
Stephanie, Mike, back to you.
David, thanks. That was great. I love that. That was very interesting to me.
Not bad, huh? I tell you what, the guy in the piece there with him is the Sylvester Stallone lookalike. His name is Mike Kunda. He's of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. He actually won the official Philly contest and free airfare to the red carpet ceremony. He met Sylvester Stallone last week at the premiere. Cool
That's
stuff.
really cool. I like
Cool
that.
stuff.
All right, we want to take it out.
Nice.
Okay. So I hadn't seen that in over a decade. I haven't seen this. Okay. So here's the story behind it. So because I won the lookalike contest, I was given 2 tickets to go to the red carpet premiere in Philly on December 18th, 2006. And just like I said, I met Sly, walked the red carpet, watched the movie, went to the after party at the art museum, and it was absolutely brilliant. But the day we filmed it, so it was the morning of the premiere. It was December 18th. And so we had a lot of time to kill. So Sue, I brought all my Rocky paraphernalia. I didn't know what I was going to do with it. I wasn't doing tours. I was still in corporate America. None of my Rocky career, none of that had started yet. This was strictly fanboy, Comic-Con, dress up, whatever. Okay.
Right.
So Sue says, listen, why don't we take the painting? Because we brought the painting. I don't even know why we brought the painting. She insisted we bring the painting for some reason. Sly had already signed it, so I don't know why we brought the painting. But if you've ever gotten it, yeah, there you go. There's the painting. If you've ever gotten into an argument with my wife, you just nod. Just nod and acquiesce. Okay, that's it. Really, I'm telling you. So, anyways, she goes, come on, let's take a walk down to the art museum. Now, we were staying at the Lowe's, which is about a mile from the art museum. It's in Center City. And so we were carrying this stupid painting. I've got the Rocky hat. I've got the military jacket type that Rocky wears in Balboa. Right. And we're walking all the way down. I'm carrying this post. And it's about 8 o'clock in the morning. And so we're at the statue, and I'm holding the painting, taking a picture here, go to the steps, and we take a bunch of pictures there, whatever. And I'm just feeling kind of goofy and stupid. Why am I bringing this painting around? And so I was getting a little annoyed, and Sue said, you never know. No sooner does she say that than the local weatherman, the guy there in the video, David Aldrich, Aldrich, he was one of the judges at the contest that I won. Now, I didn't know he was going to be there. And he sees me and he goes, Mike, he goes, wow, you took the contest into a whole other realm. Look at you. You're all done up as Rocky. And we started talking for about 10 minutes, and I had explained to him what was going on. And he goes, I have a great idea. Why don't I stand at the statue, and then I'll do my forecast, and then I'll start walking up the steps, and you just come talk to me, and we'll just walk up. I go, okay. So we started to do that, and then 3 busloads of high school kids started to unload, okay, with their parents and so on.
Right.
So I said, David, if you can go over and get the okay from the parents. Wouldn't it be great to run up the steps with all these kids around us? Rocky,
So
Rocky.
smart.
And then, okay. And he goes, oh, I love it. He goes, let's go see. So we went. So David, he's on TV. People know him. Of course, they know a TV personality. They want to get in. They see me. Who's the bum in the ugly hat, right? So no, they did. No, because I'm just an average guy. So anyways, we get it all set up. This all happens in about 18 minutes. We had no idea. There was no like script, nothing. We just had a basic understanding of what we wanted to accomplish. Again, I'm not doing any of this for a living. This is what I would do when I would walk my giant English Mastiff Bucket. I would put the hat and the coat on, and I would walk my neighborhood. Hey, oh, Bucket, what are you doing? How you think about this today? That's it. That was the extent.
Right.
Now I have to perform, and I really am not a performer. I'm not. I know that may seem odd because of my personality now. But so I have to make it happen. So now I have seconds to decide, how do I want to come at this? Do I want to hit it hard with a lot of, yo, David, how you doing? You know what I mean? Do I want to do that? Do I want to go light? Do I want to go halfway? And I thought, why don't you just do the essence of Rocky? Why don't you just get a feel?
Yeah.
Don't really get into it. Just do a feel of it. So people watching this goofy spot on the Weather Channel will say, is this guy on meds? Does he know who he is? Does he have issues? What's his issue? And I think that was the wrong move to make. I think I should have went full Rocky. I really think I should have. I didn't believe in myself.
When I very first heard it, it sounded like Sly. It totally sounded like Sly. And then when you said, that's not too good, that was dead on. I was
that was fun, but it was more Rocky. It was a touch of Rocky 5, and that ain't too good. Because Rocky said something like that at the Tommy Gunn. So I thought, okay, if I could play up this angle. But I realized I didn't commit to it. And so watching that over this morning, I was disappointed at myself, but I was also very happy saying, wow, I've come a long way from then to now. And so anyways, when I found, I said, wow, I wonder if Stacy would like to see this on the podcast. So
Are you kidding? Would I like to see it? I love that. But this is growing. This is growth. This is
right.
You know what I'm learning, and you perfection. You perfect it as you go. And it was still awesome. It was so fun. Just fun.
We had the best time. And then when the van leaves, within 20 minutes, it was all over. All the kids ran, took their pictures, they get back on the bus, and then they leave. And so Sue and I are just sitting there. And the whole thing, I forgot to mention, the whole thing of why I was pointing out the painting now is because David said, Mike, I just figured you were another fan or a tourist. He goes, but I saw that painting. He goes, I had to come over and see what the painting was about. There you go. He goes, if you didn't bring the painting, I wouldn't have come over to you. So all that happened because Sue had some intuition. She didn't know why. She just had a feeling. It's like the Force.
She has the Force.
Ben Kenobi,
Yes. No, she has the Force. 100 times you've said this to me. She's just in case, you never know. And then that's
never know.
That's like your clue.
Yeah, seriously. So, these droids aren't for sale. That's how she just waves it. You don't know why you'll need the painting, but you'll need it.
Yes. She's been right many times.
She has been. She has been.
For sure.
Stacy, what else do we have going on today?
Well, in order to introduce our guest, I wanted to let people know about this beautiful note that we received from him. And let me just go over to this. I'm going to read it. His name is Vincent Lemineur, and he can correct me if I said that wrong. But he says here, I saw Rocky 1 on VCR when I was 12 in 83. He's almost 50 now, and he's been working in a youth club in Belgium, for 15 years. And he says, I have realized that my main goal with teenagers is to support them and make them realize they have the right to dream bigger than they think and to allow themselves to imagine a life outside their small Belgian city, whatever they want to achieve, and that trying is better than dreaming once you feel ready. And I was like,
I like that.
That talk about, you come across all these inspirational quotes, you know what I'm saying? You could turn that into one of those memes, and
Right.
so, and he wrote that to us quite a while ago. I reached back out to him, and I wanted him to tell us about the youth club and how that is. He's also an artist, and he's also a singer, and he's part of a band. And so, yeah, here he is. All right, here we have Vincent all the way from Belgium.
Hi, everyone.
Hey.
So good to see you.
So happy you're here. Thank you. This was a long time coming. Oh, so nice.
Vince, I have a question for you. Are those real bricks?
Yes, they are.
I love them.
Old countries, Belgium.
Yeah.
Rocky was an expert on bricks. Okay, that was a line from Rocky too. Adrian said to the realtor, "My husband's an expert on bricks." Adrian, these real bricks, Vince, it's so good to have you here. I wanna ask you what Stacy wrote about your reasoning for working with teenagers and getting them to see or shoot for their own potential. Where did that come from? Where did that start with you?
I would say that two movies had a real impact on me. The first one is obviously Rocky 1. I insist.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the second one is Dead Poet Society. I don't know if you
great
remember
movie.
this.
Oh, yes.
Robin Williams, great movie.
Yes, and I guess those two movies, when I saw them, I didn't feel the same after watching them.
Yes.
Right.
And they taught me something. I didn't know really what. But then I guess I wanted to share like an energy. And as you said, Mike, potential, they triggered like my own potential. And I wanted to share this experience. I don't want to be a teacher or something like that. I want to be like, we call ourselves in the team where I work, we call ourselves alternative adults.
Oh,
so
wow.
We are like parents a bit.
Yeah.
A bit like teachers, but not really teachers. A bit like cops,
a mentor. Yeah.
Yes. And we are in between all the things, but we just want the teenagers not to feel judged when they are with us. So they can express everything and they can start creating their own life, kind of. Because sometimes, parents or teachers, they put like pressure on them. We don't want to put any pressure on them. So sometimes I feel a bit like Rocky and Little Mary. You try to teach lessons and stuff, but then they don't listen really. But then you let time do the work.
Right.
Do you do any type of physical abuse where you punch them into coherency? Do you slap them? Or do you use any type of a paddle? Is there some type of fear involved to get them to come around?
It only goes with natural authority.
Right.
Authority.
I got you.
Which I have a lot.
No, you do have I could tell as soon as you came out, there's a presence about you. I was silly a moment ago. I mean that. I mean it. There is a presence. There is an essence to you that I could see fulfilling the role you have made for yourself and for others. And I think that's brilliant because I think that's one of the things that is missing in today's society. It is different than when we grew up as children, where it's not the same type of way. The world is not seen through the same glasses, maybe today by the younger people. What is your average age that you work with?
So there is like a rule. So they are from 12 to 26.
Oh wow!
But then we can manage with smaller children and older people.
Sure.
We should focus on this
that age
average
group. Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
Mhm.
I got you. How? But before we get to Rocky, how does Dead Poets Society influence you, or how does that inspire you to do what you're doing now?
So obviously art is really important for me and in our lives. And there is this guy who wants to become a comedian, but then the father absolutely refused the thing, and the guy feels that it will be impossible to express himself anymore, or so I think you should try to build your own life despite of your parents' influence, because sometimes it can be very toxic. Or you should choose wisely as early as possible, I guess.
Yep.
Does it make sense? I don't
It does.
Yeah.
Yes,
Sure.
it does.
Sure.
And then, my father passed away last month.
Oh,
And
I'm
the
sorry.
only thing, it's okay, he was a fantastic man, and the only thing I could say was, Captain, my captain. Oh, Captain, my captain.
Yes.
Why?
Yes.
So
Right.
he was a mentor, and a father figure, obviously.
Sure.
A real father, and my role is to be like a father figure for the children.
Yeah.
And I found that in that poet society,
Yeah.
like to feel free, or to find ways to have the feeling of being free.
Yeah. Isn't
It's
it amazing?
difficult to express in English.
Yeah,
You're doing good. You're doing
very
great.
well. Yeah. Basically, I have a hard time expressing in English. Okay? I usually have to draw stick figure pictures for people to understand what I'm talking about. Okay. Isn't it, Vince? Isn't it? And Stacy, I want your thoughts on this
Yeah.
too. Isn't it amazing how a well-crafted movie, a story, a TV show, a song, a painting
Yeah.
can inspire someone to new and enlightened philosophies? Your thoughts, Vince, you go first.
I will talk about my father. He was a writer, a reader, so books were kind of his life, and I wasn't into books and stuff. So I guess I found my balance and my philosophy through movies. I needed images and characters, and I guess I met Rocky at the right time.
Yeah.
Stacy, your thoughts on my thought.
Yeah. I don't think anything comes into our life by accident. You know what I mean? And you never know what kind of set of parents you're going to have. And so, Vince, like you were saying, you can be a mentor and provide something that maybe somebody doesn't have these great parents or these characters from these movies. I think these are godsends because it gives someone who may not be getting quality direction, real direction, like, that's it. Rocky inspired me. Dead Poets inspired me. Forrest Gump, whatever your favorite movies are, I don't think those are accidents. I think they're answers to questions that we might not be getting from the traditional people like our parents or our family. Yeah. So you have no idea, Vince, how many times you have provided clarity by being that strong mentor. Perhaps they didn't have that at home. So
hopefully.
I'm sure a lot of people could say that about you, for sure.
Vince, before we touch on Rocky, which we're going to in just a moment, there's sometimes children, there is a dynamic between parents. Even though the parents are very good parents and have very good intentions, there is a dynamic there that doesn't work exactly right. I think you are a good stand-in for instances in that moment where that dynamic, like if you have a child who is just very bullheaded, not in a bad way, but is just very determined to be independent. Yeah. But the parents aren't wrong either. The parents right, the child's right. To me, you seem to be a Lego lock. You seem to be a connection there. Is that accurate?
I guess to grow up, you have to to take models around you, and I hope I have this role as well. So you're exactly right, and you can provide another way to see life and or point of views about everything. We talk a lot, and I like it. We debate a lot with teenagers and stuff, so it builds their values and the things they want to do in life.
And just to express, you know what I'm saying? To do that role play and get them talking. I mean, the ability to just express yourself could, you know, make or break you for a job, for all sorts of things. So that's important.
But then I went to Philadelphia, obviously. And
yes, you did.
I told them it was my dream as a teenager. So I asked them, what is your dream and what would you like to do? Something a bit magic. What are your dreams and stuff? So I use my own life and my passion for Rocky and to exchange and to debate and to try to make them think about what they want to achieve in life.
Wow.
Vince, what is it about Rocky, the original Rocky? What is it about this movie that inspired you, that grabs you and doesn't let go? Tell us about that.
I remember I've been thinking a lot about that when I was a teenager, because my father and my mother were very fantastic. My mother is still around, and they were very fantastic. So I thought, why should I go and grab something else example? But then I think Rocky, so I discovered Rocky when I was 12, I think. And I discovered the movie on my own because I was at my uncle's house. You know, I think it was in 82. So they had 2 VCR and they made copies. So I guess I saw this Rocky thing and I tried it and I was totally blown away. I remember I was floating a bit after the movie because I think I don't know if you would show this movie to teenagers today, they would be I don't know, what do you say, absorbed so much,
inspired.
I think so, but well, it happened. I was on my own, and I remember very clearly that I asked for a piece of paper after the movie, and I drew Apollo Creed.
Oh.
Really?
So I didn't keep the drawing. So I think he made me discover that winning is not always winning. So you should be a bit peaceful about stuff. You don't always need to fight to win. And what will be your success when you will be older? Is success fighting, or is success never stopping, never quitting?
Right.
Would you, let me ask you this, Vince, and I don't want to cut you off, but this is because you're onto something here, and I want to make sure I understand what you're saying. So in Rocky's goal was not necessarily winning the fight with Apollo Creed. If he won, wonderful, great. Rocky's goal was to be standing at the end of the fight. He just wanted, nobody had ever done that before in all of the title defenses Apollo had. Nobody went the distance with him. If Rocky could go the distance, that was enough for him. He would know he wasn't another bum from the neighborhood. Maybe he'll never be champ, but in his life, inside, he could be champ inside of his own mind in life. Is that kind of what we're talking about here?
Yes, absolutely. But then I remember, I think I've always considered Rocky 1 as a love movie.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I was very shy and romantic, and I could identify with Adrian and Rocky way to get out of their shells
Yes.
Yeah, right, exactly.
So I'm quite amazed by the fact that a 12 years old little shy guy could grab something so powerful that it would go on for the rest of his life.
Right, right.
Wow.
That's
I love
brilliant.
that. I think the contentment, you have to be content with knowing that you have given it everything. For me, Rocky's always been the barometer to sort of check in with, okay, well, I may not have won, but did I try my hardest? Yes. You know what I'm saying? Was I as loyal as I could be? Was I as understanding as I could be with whatever relationship, the way Rocky was? You know what I mean? So even if it doesn't work out, being content that you gave it your best. That's how it felt to me. I don't know if that makes sense. But.
And this is what I teach to the young people.
Exactly.
Try, and if it doesn't work, try something else.
Yeah. I wanted to show some of your drawings. This is really, his drawings are so
Very
good.
old stuff.
Oh, they're so good though. Now these are your personal drawings. Here's this one.
Ouch! Look at that.
Yeah. And here's another here. I love it.
Look, I
love the caricatures.
The forehead. I love the forehead.
Like mine.
I have something else in common with Sly. Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
So I was like 16 or something. So I thought I would become a drawer or painter, but music.
Yeah. And then here they are in a row.
Vince, when did you do the Rambo 3 one?
I think it was a bit later, like 88, 89.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, 89, I guess, because
gotcha.
This is the
now
3 came in Belgium in 89.
Gotcha.
These are fun right here. If you take one person plus another person, they equal that person. I didn't take them all, but I took a few. Take a look at this one.
I'm obsessed with faces, and I like when people look like. So, Mike, you look like.
Is that Ray Parker Jr. and Carl Weathers?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, man. Who you going to call?
Billy D.
Williams. Lando Calrissian. All right.
So those are French TV personalities.
Oh, yes. Okay. That Burt Young. And then we get, okay, I got you.
Yeah, cute.
Oh, that's funny.
Very creative. I think that's neat.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Rocco, this guy's got the goods, Rocco. I don't do a very good Burt Young, but that's okay. Oh, that's fantastic. Now, listen, you're also a musician.
Yes.
Yes, I am.
So what is it that you do? I see the guitars back there. Or did you just play guitar? Do you sing? Do you have a band? What do you do?
Yes, I have a band called Suffocating Minds, which is a very bad name when you live in Belgium and nobody understands the name.
Okay.
Suffocating Minds. Tell us what that means. How did you arrive at that name?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess one of the first song I wrote was the title was Suffocating Mind, and I was a bit, like nephrotic, I don't know, inner dilemmas and
like a dark place. Yeah,
you try to express stuff through music to make negative stuff becoming positive.
Right.
So the name was this one, but then the influences were like Depeche Mode, if you. Or 9 Inch Nails. So it was a bit dark, but nowadays I want you to be more colorful and positive.
Black, I know. Johnny Cash.
But it's more synth wave. Synth wave like Kavinsky and like those red Lamborghini driving through Los Angeles and palm trees and stuff. So it's more positive and that's the kind of music we do, which is weird here in Belgium.
Oh, really?
Oh, really? Wow. Now, let me ask you this. I'm trying to understand where you fall on the music spectrum. Are you a Springsteen fan?
I respect, but I'm not a fan. I like synth stuff.
Synthesized music,
like
sure.
80s new wave. And
Sure, Vince Nicola, Rocky IV, that type of music.
Exactly, yes.
I gotcha.
But then I think Bill Conti.
The great Bill Conti.
Yes.
Yes. Exactly right. Exactly right. Yeah, that is something that Bill Conti untouched. And I know Jonathan Williams I know he's done a lot of Spielberg movies and all that, but for me, it's Bill Conti all the way.
But then you have the music from Rambo 2 by Jerry Goldsmith, and it was a mixture between symphony and electronic. It was fantastic.
I love the First Blood CD, the music that Goldsmith did for First Blood. That is that's one of my absolute favorite non-Rocky soundtracks that I love listening to. It really just puts me in that darker mood, gray, overcast skies. I love it. I do listen to it quite often. I don't really talk about First Blood that much or Rambo because this is the Rocky Files. But I don't know. Stacy, maybe we'll start doing the Rambo Files.
Hey, you never know. We can do a Rambo Files episode. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Exactly. We'll change our name. We'll change our graphics for the whole thing. Listen, Vince, do you have a favorite moment in the Rocky movies from any of the movies?
This is so difficult. I think, again, Rocky 1, I think every scene is important to understand the plot, the evolution of the characters. But I think every time I watch it, I cry 3 times.
Yes.
Right.
The first time is when Rocky and Adrian are for the first time in the flat. Because I think it's the most romantic scene movie history. And they play, my God, this is it feels real, so real. They are fantastic comedians.
Yes.
The second one is at the ice skate sequence when you see Adrian
she's not very good.
Oh yes, this is moving, and this is where I guess they connect for the first time. And the third time is when Rocky get out of his flat to shake Mickey's hand. Yeah. This is like, wow. He takes, or he removes his ego, or I don't know, and he goes for it. I don't know.
In that scene, you know what, Vince? Watch that scene. When Rocky goes down to get Mickey and then he comes back up, he doesn't walk on the sidewalk. Rocky stays in the gutter. He walks the gutter all the way back. He doesn't go back on the sidewalk. I wonder, I've no idea if that was just natural for Sly to take that path, or did he choose to walk the gutter? Did he choose to walk the gutter? And that's an interesting thought process to me. I may be reading more into it. Our good friend Derek Wayne Johnson tells us, he told me sometimes fans tend to read more into a scene than was initially intended, but it is what it is. And again, that goes back to my great storytelling. Dead Poet Society, Rocky, and many other movies where you are inspired by a particular philosophy in a movie. Like, okay, one of the things I hate in American football, I hate when they score a touchdown, they slam the ball, and they do the stupid, idiotic dance. I hate that. I actually despise that because you're only as good as your last touchdown.
Right.
In the very next play, maybe you fumble the ball or something. I hate that. I like to show the humbleness. So Rocky putting his arm around Mickey, shaking his hand. We never hear what he says, but he says, Mick, I'm sorry. I need you. Okay, shake hands. Rocky walks back. He doesn't go on the sidewalk. He's proud and he's happy that he's got Mick in his corner, but he's still on the street. Still on the street. You see, sidewalk elevates. And so I just thought, boy, is that something? Or maybe I'm way out of sync. Maybe it's just I'm seeing myself in that moment. I don't know.
That'd be a great question if that was on purpose for him.
I know.
For Sly.
I know.
Yeah.
I was thinking about Dead Poet Society and Rocky, and what's the link? And I think the end is the same. They win, and they go something. I don't know. They don't win, but they win.
Right.
They win self-respect.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I get it.
Exactly.
I get it.
Exactly. Vince, have you ever drank raw eggs?
No.
Never? Not once?
I thought about it, but no, I couldn't.
You should do it.
I love eggs, but not this way.
You should do it and then film it so you can put it on like your Instagram, your video channel, and then you can use that as an inspiring moment for the rest of your people. I think they would. I think they would like that.
I want to show a few fun pictures here. Whose face is that, Vince?
I like the series. Whenever I find something funny to do, I like to do it a lot on Instagram.
Yes.
So I will put the same face on a lot of. This is dry humor, I think.
It's
Very
fun.
much so.
It's fun. Our Mickey G did the same thing.
Mike Gonzalez, he did. He obliterated me. He put his face over mine talking with Sly.
I saw it. Yes.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
Here you are in Philadelphia. This I love it.
I checked for the temperature, and I think it was like 8 degrees Fahrenheit. Does it make sense?
So that would be
cold.
probably around 20 degrees, 23 degrees maybe Celsius for us.
Oh, that's so cold.
Oh no. Then
He said 8 Fahrenheit.
Oh, he said 8 Fahrenheit. Oh,
yes.
Yes,
Fahrenheit.
yes. It was minus.
Yeah, that's a little chilly.
Celsius.
That's chilly. That explains your cousin Eddie look from Christmas Vacation.
Yeah,
Now
that's
I
a warm hat.
understand. Yes, it is.
I love it.
Yes, it is.
I love it. Oh, wonderful. That's great.
Now listen, Vince. Before we get you out of here, I want to, Stacy. Do you have any other questions? Anything you want to ask Vince before we let him go?
More of a statement. I just loved. It's so interesting how even though there's a language barrier, you still know exactly what you mean. You know what I'm saying, even though it was the way you were moving, and that's that invisible thing to me that Rocky is universal. You don't even have to have the perfect word, and we knew exactly what you meant. And so I just loved that. And I like the way you've brought it into your life and how you're spreading that message onto the youth and being that example and spreading the Rocky message. That's everything that we want here. So thank you for coming on.
Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely.
Vince, Stacy is 100% correct. That's what that is. You're taking that Rocky message, the essence of Rocky, and you're imparting it on younger individuals who may be at a crossroads at their lives, and crossroads come at different times. They come at all times in our lives, and for you to be there for these fellow humans along their journey, I think it's wonderful what you're doing. Don't stop. Keep doing that. Please don't give that up. Now, I have a question that we love to ask everyone on the Rocky Files. Stacy, would you ask this question, please?
Absolutely. Vince, if you found yourself on an elevator with Sylvester Stallone and you had 30 seconds, what would you say to him?
This is such a difficult question because you can't summarize 40 years of passion.
23 seconds, Vince.
So I would simply say thank you, Sly, and thank you for having opened some little doors in my mind and like little tools to live a better life.
Yes.
I guess that's it. And
Yes.
bye,
Vince,
Sly. Thank you.
I like that. Open little doors in my mind. No one's ever said that, Vince. Well
I
said,
love
my
that.
friend. Yes.
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 It's clarity. Those doors are like, oh, clarity. It's direction. I get that. Yeah.
Stacy, guess what's going to be our 2-minute blurb we're going to cut and put out?
Yes.
That right
That.
there. I
Okay.
want that put out there.
Okay.
That was great. Vince, I absolutely adore you. You are one of the good humans on this planet. keep doing what you're doing. Do not stop, my friend.
I won't, and thank you for your support.
Of course. Vince, as we always like to say to our guests when we kick them out of here, keep punching.
Keep punching. Bye, Vince.
Thanks, Vince.
Bye.
Oh my God! Open little doors in my brain.
Mind. Yeah,
I love that.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that will stay with me.
Yep.
That will stay with me.
Yeah, Rocky's answered a million questions when I don't know what to do. You know, I tend to do nothing. Like if I don't know what to do, I'd rather do nothing immediately than do something and have it be the wrong thing. And then you throw in a Rocky movie, it happens to be just the right one, and just the right scene comes up, and then it's like, okay, now I know what I'm gonna do. That's exactly what he just said. That's perfect.
I love that. That's it. I was really impressed with what he's doing. And man, I just think something like that, think outside the box. How can you help your fellow humans on the planet? That's the way to go, man. That is the way to go.
And just the youth today, and I just want to say one more thing and I want him to see this afterward. What the kids are facing, the distractions they're facing, and the temptations, the drugs that are going around, and someone like him to get these kids to be strong enough just to say no to all these things, in those moments of weakness or peer pressure, they may think of him or Rocky or, a Rocky-like story.
Yeah.
It saves lives. It literally saves lives. And you may never know what that moment is, but I just want him to know that I believe he's doing that in a world where kids are torn in a million different directions.
Stacy, the world that we grew up in is vastly different. We didn't have online bullying because there was no online. There was nothing. So, you can't get away from it. We had to deal with schoolyard bullies, classroom bullies, and so on. So you deal with that on a physical way, which has its own type of issues. But kids today, it's sometimes they get an unfair knock from all of us, including myself. Sometimes I understand. No, let me say this. I don't understand what kids go through today, but I try to be empathetic to it. I try to say to myself, okay, that's not what your reality was in 1983 or 1982 or 84, but it's new. But stress and pressure is stress and pressure. Doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter, because even though, our parents had stress and pressure to make sure the bills were paid for us to survive and live, we had the stress and pressure of high school. And so I kind of get that. And to have someone like that, who is a mentor of sorts, who is I guess you could say, adult father figure of sorts. I think that's a great position. So Vince, kudos to you, and keep punching with that.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Stacy, do you have any plugs this week you want to talk about? Have you got anything? Do you want to talk about anything? Do you want to do anything?
Well, the wall in my background here is going to be different next week because I received this in the mail from one John Rivoli.
I know. I'm familiar with those.
So this is going to be my reveal next week, and it's one of his new ones. I was so excited as soon as I saw who joined Rocky in the picture. I ordered it immediately because I like four-legged furry things.
We all do. We all do.
So I'm going to have a rearrangement. So John Rivoli's use of color and just the way he captures those moments, like we said at the beginning, those very private moments and uncommon moments, you know what I mean?
Right.
I think is neat the way he captures something that you just don't see everywhere. He wants to capture a unique moment, and this is that painting as well. So we'll see it next week. So
I would agree. As far as me, I don't have a lot to plug. I just have a little book I wrote called Cue the Rocky Music. It's a memoir of all things Rocky in my life. It's not about all of my life. It's just about Rocky related issues. So you can pick that up at Amazon Prime, Barnes and Noble. at .com. Anywhere they sell books, it's there. I run a little thing called the Yo Philly Rocky Film Tour. You can check that out on Instagram. You can go to the Linktree section in the bio and find out how to book a tour. And there is a movie, a documentary about my life. There it is, called The Pretender. That is me running the stairs at 14 years old with my little Rocky 3 outfit. I've got a yellow shirt, the little black dolphin Nike shorts that Rocky wore on the beach, and there you go. So listen, come see us, come say hello, or just, tell us your favorite Rocky story. Tell us so we can get you on the podcast.
Yes.
We are always looking for a diverse section.
Yes.
All creeds, colors, religions,
yes,
human, non-human, alien, canine, fish, iguana, parrot, whatever works. Something. Please reach out to us. Tell us. Forward our stories. Let people know the Rocky Files exist so we could bring even more diverse stories to you. We are desperately looking for this. We really are.
Yep. And our email, just so you know it, is therockyfiles@gmail.com. Very simple. Just
Stacy, one more time in case they didn't catch it. What is the email?
The email is therockyfiles@gmail.com.
therockyfiles@gmail.com. Write us.
Yes.
Stacy, this has been a great episode. They're all great episodes.
They are good. They're awesome.
They're all great. I can't wait until next week.
54 on the way.
54. Hey, that's how old I am. 54. Hey, that number adds up to 9. You know what I mean?
Right. I'm shutting you down.
Well, that's it. I'm out of here. My water is laced with something. All right. I'm out of here, people. Stacy, keep punching, man.
Keep punching. Bye.